Today we're in south of Market, San Francisco on Townsend Street in front of what was once known as Limn. Now, we typically think of Silicon Valley as the place of innovation for technology. And while that's true, design also has deep roots in San Francisco. And Limn is a great place to look at in terms of a design innovator. Welcome to the Ground Floor Innovation Channel, where we look at the origin story of innovations and how they affect society today. Limn, as I said, was a little bit outside the box of typical technology, but no less important. Let's back up a bit. Prior to the 1989 Loma Prieta quake, San Francisco had a thriving design district just a few blocks from here. Now, a lot of those brick buildings were compromised, and those showrooms ended up closing after the earthquake. And an architect named Dan Friedlander opened Limn in 1990 as a way to try to consolidate some of those designs into one space. This unassuming building may not seem like much from the outside, but on the inside it was 50,000 square feet of sprawling space with the highest end designers that you could imagine. If you've ever stepped foot inside a design within reach and you wondered, how is this within reach? Well, Limn was the explanation for that. We are talking super high-end designs from Scandinavian countries, from Germany, from Italy, and all over the world. And he would showcase those here in a curated experience. What I mean by curated experience is it's not just a showroom where you would walk inside to look at furniture. Rather, it was a multi-purpose space. So it had an art gallery where they would have original art exhibitions. It had a courtyard where they would have entertainment venue, so for concerts, and they would have a pizza oven where people could come and eat and mingle. They had an upstairs area where actually the Dan Friedlander and his family lived. And that also was the showcase for some of the garden and kitchen supplies. So it really was an experience coming in here. So much so that people would actually have their weddings hosted at Limn, or you would have famous DJs that would have DJ nights and they would perform here. Limn was as much a place to be seen as it was to see things. So on any given day, if you were browsing through Limn's collection, you might see heads of major companies in San Francisco. You might see celebrities. It was the elite of the San Francisco and Silicon Valley social scene. As Limn's sphere of influence continued to grow, its reputation preceded itself. They had famous lectures here, including Philippe Starck, who lectured at their 20th anniversary party. The Violent Femmes headlined that party. Just down the street, they opened up a cafe, which was a meeting spot for artists and designers. And in fact, Limn's own staff began to design furniture, and that became part of Limn's proprietary collection. Some of the designers that showcased furniture here included Cassina, Knoll, B&B Italia, Linne Rose. So you can imagine that all of these designers that might have otherwise had independent showrooms were able to be together in one space, which was actually a boon for both the retailers and for the buyers because they could envision how different things would interact together. So you could have a sense of what your space would look like, not just from a single source provider, but from all different providers, from all different backgrounds. And that's really one of the things that made Limn special. Limn was much more than just a retail store. It was really a place to shape opinions and perceptions about what design could be and about how design influenced society. Sadly, Limn is no more. It ultimately ended up shutting down. For a while, it lingered on with a small outpost in Sacramento. But the influence that it's had on the design scene and on bringing people together from all different disciplines continues to this day. Now, if you like this episode and you enjoy learning about the origin stories of how technologies and designs influence us today, be sure to like this video, definitely subscribe, maybe leave a comment if you have been to Limn before it shut down. We'd love to hear from you. And stay tuned for more episodes from the Ground Floor Innovation Channel. Thanks for joining us.